Now if I said to you all this paper could be replaced with this little board, would I be lying to you? Well, let's find out. So here it is. You may have seen this floating around the web, and I was desperate to get my hands on one. There's quite a few different companies distributing concepts like these, but I chose to go with the 12-inch model from iQbe. The design is very thin and it does feel a little flimsy in the hand, but unless you plan to be throwing this against a wall, casual wear and tear along with occasional accidental dropping won't cause any worrying damage. Now this is only 1/8 of an inch and not to mention unbelievably lightweight. For me, it resembles the weight of a thin notebook. Now on the back, you have a non-interactive back panel that one can only assume as being a writing surface, which kind of defeats the object of getting this product. However, bearing in mind, it does make the most of the back surface. They could have just left it a back cover, so it has given it an added feature as such. Now the board itself uses pressure sensitive technology, so when the pen is forced onto the board, it leaves an indent of the pressure points hit. Now pressing the clear button with the nifty looking brush picture will erase the whole board, so in theory it resets the screen, removing the pressure lines you've created. It's a very innovative concept in terms of note keeping, in my opinion. The iQbe isn't as bright as I hoped it to be. Its output is of a green colour and it's a struggle to see further away or at a cross glance angle. Now adding different pressures will create a thicker, more visible line, but what I have noticed, adding too much pressure does leave a pressure mark for a long period of time despite actually pressing the clear button, but after a couple minutes they do seem to vanish. Now just remember that when that clear button is pressed, it's not a matter of choice of content you wish to get rid of. Everything goes, so treat it like paper and cross out your mistakes. The pen is only of a simple plastic design, so you can imagine it would snap with added adequate force. So you could use other styluses on this device if that's what you want to do, but for me this pen is simple and comfortable enough in the hand, not to mention it just simply slots away, ensuring you never lose it. Obviously don't use actual pens because you will damage the board and you probably won't get your money back. Writing on this is easy, and one thing I do love, this model compared to others prevents your palm or hand interfering with your experience. Even pressing some serious force with your finger leaves nothing. Now that could be great, but if you haven't got your pen to hand, maybe your finger is the only option. So it does have its advantages and disadvantages. The iQbe ships with a 3V coil cell battery, actually promising some serious great operation time of about 3 years, which is advertised as the equivalent to about 50,000 write to clear ratio use. Now that's a seriously bold promise. Now obviously I can't prove that, but as you can imagine the replacement batteries are cheap to come by and if you obviously require to replace them. But it seriously looks like a one-off payment for a long-lasting device. For me personally, this would be great for a workplace. Just having it to hand to make quick notes during a meeting is great, or even having it propped up on a fridge with the added magnets the boards come with. It just removes the factor of having to use whiteboards or paper notes, reducing wastage of materials. Now in terms of this becoming something that is an everyday device, I'm not quite sure. But it definitely is innovative and unique. I can see this being used in a variety of ways. I'm not quite sure it's there to replace paper on an everyday basis, but with time I can see this simple concept growing into something big, where maybe you'll be able to save your notes into a memory source and revisit them when you need to. Make sure you check the product in a link in the description to check it out for yourself, along with liking, commenting and subscribing for more bargain tech. Till next time.